Hi, Kevin Henry with Dental Products Report, and I'm on a Google Hangout this morning with my friend and a member of our editorial board, Lisa Marie Spradley. Good morning, Lisa. How are you?
Good morning, Kevin. I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am doing great. Always a pleasure to talk to you, especially after you just won a very big, prestigious award. You were just named Office Manager of the Year at the American Association of Dental Office Managers meeting in San Diego. So congratulations for that.
Thank you. Thank you. It was very humbling. I was very honored to receive it.
Well, tell me your reaction whenever you heard your name was called.
Well, it's kind of funny because this year they did it a little bit differently. They actually read excerpts from the letter. So in the beginning, as they were reading certain things, you're thinking, well, that could be about anyone. But then they mentioned specifically about, the office fire in 2005. And at that point, I realized that it was me, and I guess I was very excited and kind of in disbelief, and I barely remember walking up to the stage.
Well,
It was awesome.
it was certainly a deserving honor. I mean, I know so much of the work you do behind the scenes. And, you brought up the fire, and I was going to go back to that, actually, and just kind of ask you to kind of briefly tell our viewers about that, and, again, how you responded and really helped keep the dental practice going during that time.
Well, it's really quite ironic because when the fire happened in February of 2005, I was actually not yet an employee. The former office manager had left the practice in May, and I joined right after that. So we were still in a temporary building, and we were sorting through tons of charts and explanation of benefits that were in boxes. And when we finally got to move back into our office, we had to put all of this information back together because the practice I work for is not yet chartless, and honestly I don't think it will. My doctor is just not interested in it, but we put it all back together. And one of the more interesting things, Kevin, is that we were in the office for a week and Hurricane Katrina hit.
Mm.
Then we were out of the office for another 10 days. So at first we kind of felt like maybe there was a little curse hanging over us, but we got back in there. The only thing we lost through Katrina at the building was one shingle blew off. So we were feeling okay. We got back and hit the road, and we actually ended the year on a very good note. So that was very exhilarating for all of us.
How have you seen yourself change? I mean, obviously, you just mentioned that you weren't even a full-time employee at that time. How have you seen your skills and your confidence change from now to this point in your career?
Actually, between the office fire and Hurricane Katrina and managing, at that time I had 10 employees, and I'd never quite managed that many before. It was kind of a growing process for all of us, but I think the biggest area that I've improved upon is my team abilities, the ability to keep our team focused and moving forward. And we've had some trials, I've just mentioned some really good ones, but we've managed to, really stay together, and it's brought us all closer than we ever thought possible. So that's my biggest growth, has been my team leading abilities.
And I mentioned the AADOM conference where you received this award, and it's such a great conference filled with so many amazing office managers. From your perspective, would you just kind of tell folks about the AADOM meeting and what it means to you and just kind of the energy that's there?
Well, the energy, as you know, is off the roof. I mean, it is fantastic to be surrounded by so many extremely talented professionals, and that was actually the first thing I mentioned when I got up to the podium was, how humbling it is to be nominated amongst so many truly professional people. I'm not, trying to sell myself short. I know that I work hard too, but when you're with so many people that think the same way you do, it really makes you appreciate the talent that's in our community. And AADOM has just been an excellent resource to communicate with other people, make friends. I have lifelong friends that I would have never met, had it not been for AADOM. And then the speakers, oh my gosh, this year we had an expert panel, and Judy Kay, Catherine Eitel, Fred Joyle, a couple others that are escaping my memory right now, but honestly, some of the best in our industry, and they're up there giving us advice, and it was phenomenal. That was my favorite part.
You know, you're surrounded by office managers when you're at AADOM, and I know that there are a lot of dentists who might be watching this that still don't have an office manager in his or her practice. From your vantage point, what does the office manager mean to a successful dental practice?
Well, it lets the dentist perform dentistry. I mean, I definitely believe that the dentist needs to know what's going on up at the front and, with the whole practice. But when he or she is able to focus strictly on their dentistry and allow someone whom they trust and they feel, is going to truly lead their practice to the next level, that's just a whole nother level of comfort for the dentist, for the practice.
And tell me a little bit about you mentioned how you'd really become a team leader. Talk to me about your style of leadership and what is that like? What does that look like in the practice?
Well, I'm probably a little bit more casual, although my team might disagree. But, down here in Mississippi, we're not real regimental. I mean, I have things that we need to accomplish, of course, but I like to incorporate where the whole team has an active voice. I like to, when we're setting team meetings and agendas, I want everyone to have a voice in that. So I truly believe that, we're going to really take care of our patients and practice compassionate dentistry when we all believe that we have a voice and that our voice matters.
You have a voice through the Front Desk Lady blog, and I loved whenever you coined yourself as the Front Desk Lady. Talk about where that came from, and also, what you do with your blog and your mission with that.
Okay. Well, I love to tell the story of how I became the Front Desk Lady, and I actually have just finished writing a book that I'm trying to get published, and in it I acknowledged the doctor who actually first called me. I was working for an orthodontic practice. I just came there, and they were doing tours. It's a brand new facility. They didn't have an established patient list yet, and one of the doctors was giving a tour, and it's a big circular building, and she comes back to me, and she says, and this is Lisa. She kind of thought about it a second. She said, she's our front desk lady. And of course, I just sat there and smiled because, I thought I was the office manager, but, well, maybe not. So, you have two choices in life. You can let things bring you down, or you can use them for the better. So I decided the very next day our office stationery person came by, and I ordered business cards that said Lisa M. Spradley, FDL. So I was now front desk lady. I had initials, and the only thing I was paying was $20 for some paper. So I was very happy. As far as how I use it, I like to use it to help help practices focus on the patient. That's my big agenda. I want everyone to realize that if we're not focusing on the patient, then we're not doing what we're here to do. An imposition. They're the reason why we have our practice. So when we take care of the patient, then we are, in actuality, taking care of our business.
And tell people where they can find your blog.
You can find my blog at frontdesklady.com, and you can also contact me on that website, Lisa Marie at frontdesklady.com.
And last question I'm going to grill you with today, Lisa Marie. Tell me one piece of advice you'd give to office managers who are watching this right now.
My best piece of advice for you is to network. Go out there and find other office managers that you can communicate with, that will help build you up and help you learn and grow, because this is not just a job for us. This is a career and a passion, and the best way that you're going to be the best at what you do is to surround yourself with like-minded people.
Lisa Marie, again, I was so happy whenever I got the text in San Francisco that you'd won. I couldn't be there for it, but was certainly overjoyed to hear that you were the Office Manager of the Year. Congratulations on that again.
Thank you, Kevin, and thank you for everything that you've done too. You've helped me out tremendously, along with all my other friends. So I really appreciate all of you.
Well, honestly, it's what you do for good people and what you do for good friends, and I'm very honored that you're a friend of mine as well as one of my editorial board members. So again, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin. Bye-bye.
Bye.